There's life and death in the power of the tongue. I have been in the church and I have been out of the church. I have seen people in the church with good spirits and bad. One thing that is very toxic is when people have their experiences, they want to project them onto others. This is no different than, you ever had that friend, you try something new, you're doing something, it's working for you, and they have a problem with it because they had a negative experience. That is not the experience for every single person. Now, you may have tried whatever for 20 years, it didn't work for you. That could have been your negative mindset. That could have been a myriad of things that did not work out for you. We have to take into account that people have their own personal experiences. They have mentalities. They have other spiritual influences that can hinder their progress. So only because you did not do the internal work that was entailed and required to make these practices work for you. It speaks to the mentality and it speaks to the heart. If a person is balanced in their mental realms, if they're balanced in their mind and they're balanced in their heart and they're balanced in their actions, anything can work out for you. Any single thing. Okay. Now, I've seen this to be true with everything, regardless if you are a traditional practicing Christian, a witch, if you are a mentalist, if you are a Reiki specialist, a tarot reader, a minister, a deacon in the church. It really doesn't matter about the title or the modality. It matters about the mind and the heart. If your mental is messed up, and if your heart is not regulated, your heart is not in alignment, it will not work for you. I have been in the church and I have been out of the church. I have seen people in the church with good spirits and bad. I have seen people in the streets with good spirits and bad spirits. And because of their frequency, their mentality, and their heart, their mindset and their heart, they attract and project negativity. The Bible warns against us staying away from these things for good reason. No, okay, because it's not all forms of witchcraft. It's not all forms of divination. What people really need to focus on is, once again, their mentality, what they say out of their mouth. How many practitioners have a negative mentality? Their hearts aren't balanced. Their hearts aren't right. The words that they are saying out of their mouth is spewing negativity. There's life and death in the power of the tongue. So I would question, what was your mentality? What were you saying out of your mouth? And what was your intentions in your heart? The reason why it may have had a negative experience for you, or you produced evil reactions or situations in your life, it could have been what you were projecting out into the world. And people don't take that into account. They want to blame the modality when really it is the source. It's the person. It doesn't matter what you're doing in life. If your mind, your words, and your heart aren't in alignment, aren't producing righteousness, you're going to produce unhealthy connections, situations, and form negative habits that will produce these things in your life. The first thing that I tell people when they are doing anything, number one, but especially if you're doing any energy work, intentional energy work, which will be the form of witchcraft, healing, getting into spiritual practices, I would say it's all mental. What are you saying out of your mouth? What are you speaking into existence? What are you focusing on? Are you only seeing negativity in your life? You're going to produce that. You're going to magnetize those situations to yourself. You could be a born-again Christian. You could be a Christian that from the very day they entered into the world to the day they are taken out, they could have been gun-ho all in the church. But if their mentality, their words, and their heart is not right, they're going to produce negative situations. How many church mothers and pastors do we know, whether they in our family or around the corner in the neighborhood, they got sugar diabetes, they got all these health problems, they have negative situations. Oh, the Lord gonna take care of it. The Lord has given you the power to take care of these situations. You need to work on yourself. It's not the modality, okay? It's the personality. It's the person. It's what they're thinking. It's what they're doing, what they're saying. We are literally creating. We're co-creators with the divine. But what are you creating? So don't spill that toxicity over here. Okay? You need to go and examine yourself. I've said this before. You need to guard your spiritual practices, your thoughts, everything. You need to guard everything. I don't pray. I got a video on here. I don't pray with everybody. I don't join in union, join hands, and join in intentions with everybody. Because not everybody's on my level. Not everybody vibrates at my frequency. Some people, they have a very low frequency. When you're engaging with them, this could be with prayer. This could be with a tarot reading. This could be in the church, joining hands, singing, I don't know, whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. If that person, if their spirit isn't right, then you don't need to be engaging with them energetically, because they will dim your light. Do people take this stuff into consideration? No. Only because a person is in church and it's time to join in prayer doesn't mean that you're supposed to. Yes, where two or more are gathered, I am there. But the thing, who will be there? What are you bringing into that circle? Some people got all these negative attachments to them, and you're joining in prayer with them only because they're in a church, only because they have a title like deacon, pastor, XYZ. But their spirit isn't right. So you're engaging with the spirit that is off, putting to your spirit that is bringing and dimming your light down. You have to use your discernment. And that's another thing people don't do. They don't use their discernment. If you were a good practitioner, then you would have been using your discernment. You would have been working on not just trying to outwardly make things happen, but going within. Something that people need to teach more, whether you are in the church or a traditional religion, or you were a practitioner. It doesn't really matter what it is, what your modality is. It's a modality, that's all. It matters about who you are and what you're doing, the internal work. That's what the Bible's talking about. You need to go within, because God lives within us all, and God, every single thing in our lives is God working with us. Now, if we are trying to work against what God is trying to show us, that's on us. People so codependent, they don't want to do the internal work themselves. They want to look towards a master, somebody to idolize, to tell them what to do. Those days are gone. You're going to have to form your own relationship with the Almighty on your own. And by you doing that, you will know what to do, how to do it. It doesn't mean that every so often God will bring someone in your life that will give you an encouraging word or, help mentor you. But the ultimate mentor is the Holy Spirit, is the spirit that dwells within you and your connection to that. Everything else is just secondary. And so many people are looking outside of that for a connection and for validation. But anyways, you can go purchase my latest book on Amazon, The Bible's Hidden Divination and Magic. And I suggest you go get a copy too, girl.